the map. Everything is intact, could have been a seamstress, still wouldn't cut him slack. Pretty much ain't got a clue, itty bitty piggyback off everything I do. But I'm still dropping, got him looking like James Harden at the awards. Back to you, I'm so into you, for real, bread, like I'm kin to you. If you a 10, I add 10 to you. They be mad when I 10 to you, that's what the bay like. Call me Buffy, cause that's what I slay like.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team.
Now a second down throw for Mariota. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out. Finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Breaks a tackle. Oh, what a move. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Back to throw. Day eluding the pressure right. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in this game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week. 15 carries, 79 yards.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play. And I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams. Because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Looking to throw. Day. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yeah, it didn't.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he checks this one down to Williams. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mariota. And that's caught by Smith. And he coughed it up. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry, and now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, 1st down.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Tackle made there by Eric Rowe.
Detroit! Detroit!
Alongside the former defensive back, Charles Davis. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Back to throw. Day. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about. Canes are on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. They'll hand it off now. Williams. He loses 4, and it brings up 4.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this is going to set up first and goal inside the 5-yard line. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They've got a first and goal just inside the 5. Now Leonard Fournette. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. And this Fournette territory here, and he's alone in the backfield on second and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal. Two straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
I'm going to hit you all day, baby.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. 4th and goal, Charles. All the time you see those offenses, especially the quarterback, the running back, looking over the sideline saying, don't send the kicker out. There they did it, and it paid off.
It's really nice to see what they wanted actually done. And how about the coaches getting their faith rewarded by a touchdown?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Complete. Smith has it. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
But he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that'll help set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man. You can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
They'll run with Fournette, and he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. Tackle made by Kenny Vaccaro.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game in the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Steps away to his left. Wiggles free, and he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear, but here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on 4th. Looking to throw. Day forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Flushed out, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DeAndre Hopkins, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. On this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically their scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 2nd down, Mariota. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Mariota will need a big play after the sack as the Titans come up 3rd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
We got 3. Gun!
On 1st and 10, Day being chased out left. Caught left side, Hopkins. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Jakeem Grant now to return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a 1st down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Back to throw. Day escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Day. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's caught. Jones. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Day. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw, Mariota. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Mariota over the middle to Smith. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Mariota now to throw on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Shifts by him. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's a give to Fournette. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. Back to throw. Day eluding the pressure right. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Looking to throw. Day. Wide open receiver complete. And a loose football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we?
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Julio Jones with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Gets past one man, and he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They run. It's Williams. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down to the backfield. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. A handoff to Fournette. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Again, it's Fournette. Had a nice broken tackle, and then brought down right around the 20. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the 1st quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard. Yeah,
not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
1st down, Mariota. Caught right side, Davis. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Mariota now on 2nd down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and now it's 2nd down. Well, not to get too overcritical there, because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Here's Mariota. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And that's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Desperation time. Mariota on 4th down. Looking to hit Matthews, but it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the 2nd half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Calling a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Off the play fake. Day, flush to his right. He may try and run for this. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Detroit!
That one looks like he'll throw here. Buying time to his left. And caught left side, Olsen. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
They'll run it again with Fournette. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. A handoff, Fournette running left. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On second down, here's Fournette. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end,
Still second down.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw. Day flushed out right. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
One last shot now from Mariota. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way,
control when I. No, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I am a boss in the cut, Mayday. Bubbles and these models are. It's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now. And you just took a loss right now. Dripping in the sauce right now. Get a sprinkle up my style. I'm about to lock.